Yet our best trained,
What's
best
up, everybody?
educated, best equipped, best prepared troops refuse to fight. Matter of fact, it's safe to say that they would rather quit than fight.
Get a little PE for y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your host, Bill Forster. I'm here with you today on a Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. It is what it is today. So much to talk about. I am rolling solo by myself. What's up, Paula? How are you, sister? Marquetta, what's up? How are you? I'm gonna talk to you by myself today, man. Straight real talk, giving no chaser, all in the gut. You know, I was playing a little PE. There's so much going on in the world today that has me kind of like tight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Are y'all feeling the same way? Like I'm really tight about some things, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk to you about them. You're more than welcome to chime in and chop it up with me. Um, I'm going to talk about uh, the Breonna Taylor. What's up, guy? I see you, brother, coming in from YouTube. This is Bill Forster. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm coming to you Facebook Live, and I'm also coming to you from YouTube, Real Talk Chronicles. So if you like it, share it. I'm going to have straight real talk with you like I always do, but today it's by myself. And I'm going to say what I have to say. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, let me know how you feeling. What's up, Yvonne? My brother, what's up? It's always good to see you, man. And like we just gonna chop it up, man. So first, um, where do you want to start? Do we want to start first where I put a post up not too long ago earlier today, and I'll reply to those who chimed in about like I'm starting not to like people now because of politics. And it is what it is right now because, you know, Alicia said something on the post. I didn't get a chance to read it. And a lot of you said something, Juan. I think you said something too. Um, and if I get a chance, I'll try to go back and look at what you've said, and maybe I might even read some of those things because it's real important the things that you guys said, and I'm feeling it. I see a lot of people from my prior profession say a lot of disrespectful things. And first let me just shout out to NYPD. I've worked with some beautiful people, and I don't want what I'm about to say sound like I'm bashing NYPD because it's not the job, it's the people that you hire. So let's make sure we all understand what I'm about to say. But there's a lot of disrespect going on. And Alicia had said something on shout out to Alicia Aurora and her husband, Mike. She had said something on one of the posts about how do you not stand with your brothers and sisters in blue? But, like people of color, how do other people not stand with their brothers and sisters in blue? You call them your brothers and sisters in blue, but they're people of color, but you don't support them in their feelings and emotions in regards to a lot of things that are happening with not black on black crime. We'll discuss that too, but we're talking about just people, when it comes against law enforcement and people of color. And she articulated that. And the person's response was like, "Oh no, I support them, but you don't support Biden and stuff like that." What I've noticed is that a lot of people have in law enforcement have separated humanity from common sense. And, if that's the best way I'm going to put it, because you make it so about us against them. And, and what's sometimes so disheartening is when I see people of color. And when I say people of color, I'm talking about Hispanic people, family. And I call them family because I feel blacks and Hispanics are one. So I will always refer to that for those that know me. Um, I see you talk out against your own people with a viciousness that makes me that doesn't understand what happened to you along your path in your travels in life. Where did you lose you? And maybe that's what a lot of this conversation is about tonight. I'm going to talk about Breonna Taylor and the Attorney General. We're going to talk about voting. We're going to talk about Walter Wallace. We're definitely going to get into that. I just want to shout you all out. Um, James, what's up? Bullock, Sharon, Wayne, Earl, what's going on? How are you all? Collins in the building. What's up, Louis? Respect. And I kind of want y'all to really rock with me and talk to me tonight because I'm gonna talk back to you. But I still, as all the speaking engagements that I've done, I still can't find out why the old doesn't see what's happening. And I get it. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You definitely can't. But to see people of color just honestly feel like, yo, they hate Democrats, they hate liberals. They're talking about the president with the border. They hate, and I've seen aliens, people that were aliens that had, got a green card. You know what I'm saying? And became an American citizen, a U.S. citizen, talk against immigrants and aliens. Like, yo, you killing me with that one. Like, really? Like, you may be the first generation that in your family that graduated from a college, a school in New York City. You became a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer. You know, your parent may have worked in a factory and all kind of crazy stuff, and you was on Medicaid, using a card, swiping to get food at the grocery store because I saw your mama do it. You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen loved ones do it in your family. And I'm just talking about in people in general. If it don't apply, let it fly. So don't tell anybody in there think I'm talking about you personally, because if I talk about you personally, I'll say your name. I think you know me well enough to know that. But, you know, what's going on? And then all of a sudden you forget all that and you get a job and you feel like you made it and you forgot that your family, your ancestors came over on a slave ship. Help me out. Help me figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm confused with that. Like you said, Colin, it's a new day. When people show and tell you who they are, you got to believe them. Absolutely. What's up, Cynthia? What's up, Derek? Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate you. Paula, I met a lot of Hispanic folks that don't think of themselves as black or brown. Yeah, I'm really confused with that. Um, Food stamps, bro. Exactly, Derek. Like I'm confused. And then you get on, especially when I say a lot of them get on this job that I may have met somebody in their family and don't speak any English, not a lick of it. Smile at me all day. I'm smiling, my jaws hurt. You go to somebody's house and But then you're the first one that's talking about, yo, you co-signing what Trump is doing about borders and stuff. Yeah, how's that border going for y'all? Yeah, that wall. Yeah, okay, I got you. Exactly. Those are the haters. Um, the self-haters. Yeah, Colin, I think they really do hate themselves. They hate their history. That's an excellent point. Uh, you're right, Sharon. Not all Hispanics are black and brown. You're right. What's up, Diane? Wanda, what's going on? Marquetta said, this is who they are already. It's just the people use it's just that people you saying behind closed doors are now people are bold, real freaking bold these days. Yeah, too bold and too bold for reasons that you know it's confusing. So yeah, I put up a post today that I like people before politics, and I dislike a lot of people now talking about politics. And I, in a world of there's a difference between a world of common sense, education, and we can talk about humanity, we can talk about a lot of things. But when you just blatantly co-sign a racist because you have such a disdain for liberals, I can't feel that. Shout out to everybody that's watching. What's up, Rosetta? How are you? What's up, Jerome Perry? This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm going solo tonight, and I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to say what I want to say. And listen, I do usually do that all the time, but right now, I just think from what so much is happening in the world, like we said, we're going to talk about Walter Wallace. We're going to talk about uh, Breonna Taylor. We're going to talk about what's happening today. I posted something earlier. Uh, some white guys walked up to a police officer. He was in a squad car. They hit in the car, throwing bricks at it, and everything that I'm saying. If you get a chance, you can jump on my page and Bill Forster page and see what I'm talking about, and we can talk about it. Trying to bash the window in. Don't shoot him. He gets on the radio like he's talking to his girl. Central, yeah, yeah, they're hitting the car. Really? I'm confused. Help me understand it. Um, it is what it is. You know, I help me understand what's going on, man. Please help me understand it. I want to read some of the stuff that you guys said. You know, you can go to the post that I put. Like Nancy has said, 99.9% of our former Leos coworkers support Trump, and 99% of them don't like you right now. I get it. Oh, no doubt, Jerome. We definitely good. Rhonda said, yeah, exactly. Everybody that come with you can't go with you. Exactly. Alicia said something, and she said this stopped being about politics a long time ago. You either support a racist, uh, a phobic, a sex pig, or you don't. Those who do are not your friends of mine. Drop like bad habits. Exactly. Terrence said, there are very few people that I have stopped liking due to politics, but recently I have stopped liking many people because of the lack of integrity that their politics revealed. Exactly. Diane said facts. The shit I've heard from folks is idiotic. I take it personal. I'm shaking my damn head. Exactly. A lot of you have definitely been chiming in on things like that. Shout out to James Phoenix Garrett. He said, I stopped talking politics, especially with the people on the other side. I was born when Eisenhower was the president and never lost friends because of the presidency until now. Chris Green, exactly. Some people, yeah, man. Tracy said, it's that tangerine terrorist word. It is what it is. To me, at this point, it's not about party lines. This is very different. If I post something on my page and you try everything in your power to get me to understand why you would vote for a racist person that wants to divide this country and start civil unrest, then we weren't really friends anyway. Exactly. Yvette Rose. She said, "Yo, on the real, exactly, Carlton. These Trump heads sticking my head really surprising, but most of them stopped participating in my posts. I guess they couldn't deal with it. Oh well, you know, it is, so on and on and on. Um, I don't want to keep reading everybody, and you can expose yourselves. I mean, I wasn't saying that to expose you, but I was just saying how it is. Um, Sharon said, one brother told me he doesn't want Hispanics to outnumber black people in America because at least we, as black people, are the head niggas. I wanted to stab him. Exactly. Hey, Eunice Collins, how are you, Mom? Uh, what's up, Andre? Yeah, exactly, Pavon. I wasn't too surprised when I saw that video. All that was going through my mind was, what if they were black? Exactly. Um, it's all right, Diane. It's all right. Enjoy. Happy birthday to your daughter. Appreciate you. Um, Paula said, I like people before politics and tolerated who they were, but this current administration has embroiled and emboldened folks, and they are more hateful than I can tolerate and have now become dead to me, especially folks from the job. Exactly. Yeah, Ravon. I belong to some Hot Wheel collectors groups, and somebody designed a junky Biden uh called being crushed by a monster truck with truck written on the side, I guess Trump. And I called to say to them, was, oh my God, this, and you turned into it in politics. Like you said, Ed Papers, politics is nothing but a brainwash tactics, and it's all BS. It's all right, Eunice. It's still on. Malika and I segment is still on, so you definitely can go to that. Um, Let me just say this, that I don't want to ever be around brainwashed people. I want to be around like-minded people. I want to be around people that believe in the same thing, humanity and caring for others and stuff like that. So people understand that. Like I said, shout out to law enforcement. This is not a disrespect to any of my conscious white friends and coworkers and Hispanic coworkers that have some kind of humanity and decency about them. And like I said, if it don't fly, if it don't apply, let it fly. You know, I'm not going to always keep apologizing and trying to give props to people that I shouldn't have to. If I'm not talking about you and it's not you, don't take it personal. It is what it is. Guy Brown from YouTube said a lot of our old coworkers came out of the closet when they retired because if we knew them what we know now, exactly. A lot of them have definitely shown their true colors. Um, oh, it's all good. And everybody, I see you, Lou. Yes, it is unbelievable. And you get it from all jobs. I had a guy pull me over in a shopping mall. He was a mall, hopefully I know I got the little, as they call it, the little red tomato. And he started marveling over the car. He was talking to Malika, and then Malika went in the store, and then he started talking about, and the little bugs, they call them Chinese flies now or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, there's another thing from China that got us." Then he felt comfortable to want to talk politics with me. Now, come to find out, after I sat there and conversed with this guy for a while, he's just a bar dude. And they kill me when some kill me when they say, "Oh, well, I have black friends." Well, that's nice to hear. You know what I'm saying? I don't, yeah, like who, like, come on, B. In your life, if you ain't got friends outside of your ethnicity, then you haven't lived. That's real talk. I've, I've I got friends of all races, from grammar school, high school, college, work, multiple jobs I've done. You know, so my real friends are my friends. If they're not just my friends, then we're not friends. And politics is not the deciding factor on our friendship. I think politics now is the deciding factor on how we befriend each other, and it's okay. because like I said, if we're not talking and we're not calling each other and texting, then really, what is it? It doesn't make a difference. Let me read some of the comments. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, and I appreciate you all for chiming in with me. If you like it, share it. For especially my real talkers, love the support. So we can keep this going on and popping. Maybe I'm gonna have to put these glasses on. I was trying to go like Pretty Billy, but it ain't working right now. Let me see. Cynthia said, my parents were immigrants and of color. However, I was taught to be afraid of black people from America. When I discovered on my own they were wrong. I married a black man and I have a black son. That's real talk. I have a black son, and how is he doing? I broke their views of how black people in America have been perceived. Cynthia, that's right, and you're a real talker, and I appreciate that. And we've always had these conversations, and you have definitely shown whomever that to be a light skinned Hispanic, that you for the cause. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, to have a son of color and married a man of color, like you're about it, and you're a righteous sister, and I appreciate you so much. Um, uh, those type of Favon said those type of people say that they have black friends, and I say, do I? I too also have white friends. Marquita said, what do they mean? Hate when people tell you they have black friends. What do they mean? I think they're trying to just say like, well, like I'm not what you think I am because I have black friends. No, you are a little bit. You are what I think you are. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I've talked about that. We can talk about. Let me go to Breonna Taylor situation. Uh, CBS showed an interview with two of the jurors, and we can come back to this topic too. And I'm here to kick it with you guys. Uh, CBS showed an interview with two of the jurors, and they talked about what the attorney general, whatever the dude name is, um, doing the you know charges, what he didn't offer them. Then he came out and made a statement that he had, the grand jury did not uh, feel these charges were necessary, so they didn't accept them. Well, the two of the jurors came on TV with Gail King and was like, basically, I'm gonna hit you with some layman terms, keep it neighborhood. It's like, yeah, I don't know what money talking about. You know what I'm saying? They was like, if he would have offered us some charges, we would have definitely hit the cops. They came on. I'll post it. I'll look for it in CBS and I'll post it. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what exact some words are verbatim. It was like they didn't feel the officers' words were their testimony was credible. Like all we want is to be fair, right? I mean, people of color. And when I say people of color, I'm speaking for the brown people, the Hispanic family, or any people of color that understand who they are, and especially people, black people. We just want to be treated fair. We understand where we came from, and we were king and queens first. But don't dumb us down, you know. And I'm gonna get to the looting and the rioting and all that. Trust me, I'm gonna get to all that. Don't think I'm gonna let y'all. Some people slide with that because I seen some of the posts today, and I think that's kind of ticked me off. When Kitty said all bullshit is what it is, it means they want us to feel comfortable with their bull. They still could be a racist. Absolutely. Shout out to Dana Jones in the house. Tell Sean I said hi, D, and my little niece. Um, that Peppers have said that attorney general is a super puppet. He has no balls. Exactly. And he knows that. He knows what that happened was totally wrong, Bill. Absolutely, Ed. Absolutely. It was disgusting to I think that's what hurts me a lot of times when I say hurt. You know what I mean? Like, just takes the wind out my sail when I see people of color just coon up and 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 dance for the man, like straight ha. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not built that way, man. Like my family, I mean, and a lot of you are not built like that. I don't get it. It's one thing about get along, go along. And when I say that, I'm saying, you're not in the workplace, you're not trying to ruffle any feathers, you just want to do your job and things of that magnitude. But this just blatant letting things happen. Oh, well, I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude, you looking out for people that took somebody your color. Like, just do your job. I'm not even asking you to pick sides. Just do your job, money. You know what I'm saying? Paula said, I'm confused me as to how these things are done to us, and it's okay. It's acceptable. Sometimes I feel so helpless and very angry. I'm with you. What's her, Rodell Glover? Cynthia said, I hate when white people say, I don't see color. I want white people to see who we are. Color is beautiful. White people need to appreciate it and love it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's up, Laura? Hey, Penny in the house. What's up, sister? How are you? E Paper said, I almost died when I heard the changes. Yeah, man. I to see, and then now you got to go by. Yo, did you see the interview Sergeant had with Michael Strahan? And then he wants to sit there like he's that dude, but then you see the sheets started coming over his head, right? And the circles started to go in his eyes, and then he was talking about, yeah, this ain't a George Floyd situation. What happened to him was a travesty, but we don't know if he died by fixation. What? Did you just say that? Even Michael Strahan, like I got a message to Michael Strahan, and I told him, man, I appreciate you for being the man that you are, for talking about you felt uncomfortable with that statement. Then he was like, well, no, I'm not saying that this is, and then he was like talking about uh Kenny Walker, him and Kenny Walker at an aim off, and he shot you, right? He pushed back. So if he saw you and he just shot one time, uh if he saw you, he should have shot to kill you, right? Like like if I saw somebody breaking my house, I'm not shooting one time. Because you know why? I was trained by NYPD to shoot multiple times. And we'll talk about that later on. So there's a lot of things that's going on. Diana said he had no remorse. I was so bothered by the interview on different levels. Absolutely. Disgusting. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. It's just me today, man, and I'm giving it all to you. I'm giving you all my God emotions and feelings, and I'm just tired. And I get it. I'm tired of being tired. So, and when I say I'm tired of being tired, I don't want any more excuses for people. I don't want our people to suffer anymore. I'm tired of seeing people justify shootings. Like Walter Wallace. He was an EDP, and for those who don't understand what an EDP is, an emotionally disturbed person, and you have law enforcement with that don't have any remorse. Just, oh, it's a good shoot. He had a knife. F it. Like, not even looking at, wow, they knew he was emotionally disturbed. Now those cops came on the scene, like, come to find out, and Collins and I was kind of like talking about this yesterday, because I try to give you the information that I get. So I go to all these sources a lot of times, and some of you are excellent vessels of information for me, and I appreciate all that. And we sit behind the scenes and we talk about things, and you give me stuff and I read it, stand if I post it, because sometimes social media now they want to fact check you and stuff like that. I need to fact check the president. I'm not running for office. I'm just trying to be a vessel of information. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can check me quick, and I get it. Hey Harriet, what's going up? Paula said, yeah, Michael Shanahan did not let him off the hook. Nah, not at all. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Absolutely. Um, so with that being said, going back to my initial start of the show, was like I was just like, I'm just tired of people not having any remorse or any sympathy, empathy. Like, have some kind of just like say damn at least. I just go straight to like, oh, good shoot, anybody. And I had talk. Shout out to my man Malibu. We were talking, uh, and like he said, him and I was talking, and he said the one thing that you could see from the start of that video, even though no matter if it lasted less than a minute, is that you could see something was wrong with that man, right? And I'm jumping around and help me up, but you could see something was wrong with Mr. Wallace. His mother was trying to control him; she really couldn't. His brother called. They had called multiple times that day, and police had been there. And they called. The lawyer came on the news and said that they called for EMS, EMT, EMS. Now, I'm going to try to find out uh, what's the protocol for Philadelphia PD when you're dealing with an emotionally disturbed person. Diane, maybe you can give me some insight. What's the protocol for NYPD? Like, is ESU deployed or comes, like I know in corrections, shout out to my family Bistro in the building, Bobby Green. Um, Even when you have a hostile prisoner, they call that team, they come with the shields. Maybe that's something that NYPD, or if they don't, any police department. I posted something recently today, matter of fact, how in another country that when they deal with a person, emotionally disturbed person, they kind of form Voltron. It's on my page. You can go back and scroll. They form Voltron and they use shields and they just box them in and like get them down with the shields. I don't know what the call was that came over. What's up, Heck? I see you in the building. Diane said no one tried to defuse the situation. All they saw was a black man. Yeah. Paula, it all comes down to the fact that black folks are not ever given the benefit of the doubt. Black, shoot. Black weapon, shoot. Black walking, shoot. Black in your home, shoot. I'm sick of it. Yeah. Marquetta said, I'm missing so much news. Um, oh, you missed so much news up here in Albany. They have the news fixed. I catch up on the weekend down in the city. Yeah, well, you need to get back to the city, sis, because it's here. Uh, EMS responds. Diane said EMS responds when it comes over as a 1054 EDP, and the supervisor responds as well. Okay, so like I said, thank you. I appreciate that because I know you as a supervisor with our lovely job. Um, it comes over. It comes over. I heard at the EDP, and like the family said, like, "Yo, we called, and I'm sure we didn't call for you to kill us." Uh, Collins, these officers didn't have tasers. I don't know why Philly PD, these guys that responded didn't have tasers. That's a good question. Do tasers work all the time? I don't know that. I've never shot one. I've never been shot by one. Uh, but the one thing I do know is that when I initially saw that video, I was like, wow, okay. It's like, because what you hear a lot of hollering and stuff. But then you're just like, okay, you see the mother and she's trying to intervene. She's trying to calm him down. The officer's running back and forth. backpedaling, and then they got to a point where they shoot, right? Boom, 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 boom. Now, okay, we find out that he's an EDP. We find out that he has a knife. Where do we go from this? I personally have never been in that situation. I've been in a situation with the EDP that was acting a little volatile. Thank God that he didn't have a weapon. But the people that I was with, the sergeant at the time, I remember Sergeant Murray, myself, and we looked at each other like, yo, either you gonna calm down or we're gonna be out here scrapping until the proper people, because what happened in '94, the procedures are totally different now. So it's a different times. Shout out to Linda, the dancing machine. She said, from what I surmise, that they may be the standard, Bill. When I called for EMS for my dad, dementia, they sent sheriffs. That was in VA. I literally had to insist they understand he had dementia. Courtney Claxton. Hey, what's up, brother? How you feeling? Yeah, you reiterated that because I think a lot of times too, and this is something that we have to understand and get into the psyche of the officer, or the officers responding to EDPs. Do you still see a black person, or do you see an emotionally disturbed person? Because the bottom line is, you're like, hey, you know, what's going on? Uh, you know, Courtney, maybe you could give me some insight on EDPs. Linda said the news stated that the department stated that they did not have tasers due to the lack of funds. Really? Yeah, okay. We're gonna come back to that. Eunice Collins, how are you? Lady watched me grow up with her daughter. Shout out to Sonia Patton in the building. She's not in the building, but just shout out to her. What needs to happen is that the police should be not called. They were called 3 times. Another agency should be called. If we don't find another way, this will go on. It will continue. It definitely will. Um, I just got something that came over my phone. I'll have to go back to it. Yeah, Diana, no one gave him a chance. Cynthia, she said, remorse comes from those who can empathize with the mentally health community. NYPD are not trained to diffuse a mental health situation. You're right about that. Mental health is a big problem in New York. Yeah, it seems like it's come back fast and furious with this, um, which is a problem. It really is a problem right now. Um, I mean, homelessness and stuff all over in New York City and things of that magnitude. I don't think really anybody likes the mayor right now for who he is. Excuse me, I feel like my allergies are about to act up. I hope you all are still wearing your mask. COVID pandemic still here. I didn't go anywhere. Thanks, Mr. President. You can't blame Obama for that, right? um, so let's talk about shooting. Police officers. The question always comes up: why is somebody shot so many times? I think me and Kevin, shout out to Kevin Branzetti. I think he's doing family day with his daughters. Um, law enforcement officers are not trained to shoot one time. You train when we go to the range, and anybody else out there in law enforcement, shout out to the law enforcement family, or anybody, military, police, anybody, corrections, correct me if I'm wrong what I'm saying. When we shooting at the target at the range, we shoot, maybe supported 4 times, holster. Unsupported 3 times, maybe. Supported 5 times, holster. Unholstered, shoot until you empty, rap, tap, bang. Right? So you're never shooting to shoot once. You shoot center mass. You do not shoot the wound. as they articulated in the court, because I was a witness, expert witness for the Bronx DA's office, you shoot to stop, and that's why you shoot at the organs, the torso. So that is why you're always seeing multiple people shot. You're seeing multiple bullets from different officers. Now, two officers and their service revolver should be what is it, 15 and 1, right? 16 and 1. What was it, 15 and 1? 13 shots. You do the math, right? When you shoot, I I don't know, but is it fair that you keep your hand on the trigger? Like there's no pop pop pop, you know, and then they stop. Courtney said, why do cops seem to escalate to deadly force most times with black versus white people? Uh, they don't see equality. Uh, you can't respect something. Well, maybe it seems like good citizens and humanitarians like ourselves, we're not going to spit at a homeless person. We're not going to kick them and tell them to get the F out the way and things of that magnitude. So I say all that to say, a lot of times maybe law enforcement, some law enforcement don't see themselves. If I pull you over, Courtney, or you and your wife, Nabala, I see my brother, I can see my cousin, see somebody dating my sister. Your wife could be my sister. I see equality. Like if I pull over Cynthia, pull over Diane, I pull over Colin or somebody, I see a connection. You know, because a lot of Hispanics and African Americans who grew up, some grew up in the same projects, some grew up in the same neighborhood, you know, the same foods and stuff like that. So there's a connection. You understand what I'm saying? My childhood friends we were a melting pot. Blacks, Latins, you know, we had Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, African Americans, and Asians. You know, shout out to the, you know, Doug Chu and all those. Like we were all mixed up. You know, white guys. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a mixture. Even when I went to high school, grammar school. So I don't understand it. Hold on, let me just. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I ask you all if you like it to share it. Um, you know, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, so we just getting in there and we're chopping it up. I'm your host, Bill Forster. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Session in the building. Respect to you, baby. Peace and blessings. They need to be trained to first fight. It will save lives. Yeah, I've always said that, family, that shout out to Yolanda. Let me see what you said, James. Once the threat stops, you stop. Yeah, that's what they're trained to stop the threat. Absolutely. But what is the threat? Is the threat built into your mind, James? Or is it, because if you look at officers tactically, they had excellent distance, right? Um, they kept backing up. I agree. That was excellent. When we look at, you can ask yourself, how often do I keep backing up, right? We're not supposed to retreat that much. I get that. But, the body cam footage is going to let us know what they heard when they got there. Because usually when you get there, we've all done patrol, or whoever's done patrol in here. When you walk up, you're like, yo, what's going on? Somebody's going to say, oh, over there. Yo, he got a knife. Yo, he ain't right. You know what I'm saying? He needs help. Those officers were, going around the car. And the mother, I can't even say anything like, oh, well, the mom didn't do a good job of stopping her son. Like, I can't say that to you. I don't know where the other brothers or the fathers or whomever were there, the family members, the neighborhood, people didn't want to get involved. I mean, well, they knew the situation. They wanted to get involved. Then I saw a post today. They posted, "Oh, the real Walter White that you don't know." So then they want to talk about either Walter White was or they want to talk about his rap sheet. They want to talk about that he rapped about some feelings against the police officers. Oh my God. Yo, why is it that you always got, my God, you always got to bring up somebody's past? It has nothing to do. So, now you want to paint the picture. Oh, he has a history of violence. Okay. Is he emotionally disturbed? So you're saying he picks his poison when he knows when he does schizophrenia stuff or whatever his medical condition was? Um, like Diane said, we are touched to shoot until the threat is eliminated. And everybody out there, we want you to understand that. Those are two different law enforcement officers that have said the same thing, male and female. You're taught to shoot until the threat stops. That's why you have multiple shootings. And that's why you have the numbers are so high. Because officers are gonna keep shooting until they think you stop. But shout out to Yvonne. Tell hubby I said hi. James said a lot of these cops now shoot so much because they have no kind of hand game. Absolutely, we know that. Um, Courtney said, I think they intentionally killed dudes specifically in Philly to suppress the votes. You know what? That's a deep ass statement, but it might be true, right? Because if we make up 13%, and shout out to the women of color, you're so educated and doing your thing. Salute to you, sisters. And I say sisters, I'm talking about my Latin and African American and women all the time. I always kick it like that. Shout out Alicia Last in the building. Cynthia said NYPD training reform should be considered. However, I did have a brother who is a cop, and I don't want to lose him to some kid who doesn't know how to operate a gun. So sometimes, Cynthia, that's a good statement because sometimes I understand the multiple shootings. Billy, you are like a brother, and I chose you. Is that selfish? No, not at all. And that's a good thing that you said because people that have members in the family that are law enforcement, sometimes you can hear a story from their mouth to your ears. Or like Cynthia said, her and I, we can sit and converse about things like that. Just like I'm talking about, and some of you talking about. What's up, Brian? How are you? Um, so, but like Linda used to always say to me, she said, "Yo, being your sister in all the years," she says, "you never brought the job home." Like I didn't. It was a job. It wasn't personal. You know, it wasn't like, it wasn't like I stopped hanging out with my friends that weren't law enforcement. And now I just only hang out with my law enforcement friends because they're my friends and we work together and everything is beautiful. Knock it off, man. It ain't that serious. What's up, TJ? David, what's going on? Uh, yeah, man. So they shot 13 times. Two officers shot 13 times. You can split those numbers up between the two of you guys. That is what it is. Yeah, you're right, Jay. Shout out to our old fish crew. One fish, two fish. It's a good place to relax and release, man. We don't have those days anymore. Uh, so now let's talk about the protesting, and they're different. Protesting, rioting, and looting. All for the protesting. All for it. What annoys me is that the rioting and looting. And then, I started reading the comments. People was like, oh, Christmas is coming early. And oh, yeah, they really care about Walter Wallace as they break into the store. You know, displaced anger. They probably want to punch somebody like the people that were saying this stuff in the face, but they can't. You know what I'm saying? So what do they do? And I condemn rioting and looting. I condemn it. The family condemns it, and I'm sure most of you condemn it. But you understand it. Oh, absolutely, Jahar. Brother, but we grew up in a world where you had to have some kind of hand game or run. And then if you had to use that other thing, you did it because it was a whole different mentality. You know what I'm saying? So respect to my family, you know, Jahar, we ride together, baby. Shout out to Gerald Evans in the building, big bro. Appreciate you for always being a calm, educated voice. JC said, I think they shoot because they're scared, and they're scared, and they're training properly. You can spot that a mile away. They always have the hand on resting on the gun. The gun makes them feel safe. My opinion. Your opinion is not wrong because it's yours, and also too, I've said this before that a lot of these officers all over the world, a lot of these officers are only as tough as the hours that they work and the hours that they carry that gun. And I know some officers don't go anywhere without their gun. I've always said this that I can walk down any street in New York City without my gun because I am who I am. You understand what I'm saying? I was a man before the job. I was somebody before I became a law enforcement officer. I didn't bother anybody, and I don't want to bothering me. Everybody can get got. I'm not sitting here and telling you I'm this tough guy, but I was able to handle my own personal business. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever that business is, I was able to handle it, protect myself and my family and my loved ones. And then I had brothers like, Jahar, like we looked out for each other's mothers and stuff like that on that block. Nobody came on our block. Our block was secure. You know, Harlem was secure. People were about different things back then. Violence beget violence when it had to. Um, exactly. Like Jahar said, and that's 101 child. You grew up, you learn how to slap box first. You be out there slapping each other all day. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, don't get mad, because learn how to box, bob and weave. You know. Then some of us went and got some formal training. Shout out to Louis in the building. I know Louis loved the box. Jahar, that's what we did. Um, Lucky is in the building. Paula said, felons lose their right to vote. I always thought that was a historical driving force behind putting black men in jail. It breaks up the family, and they can't ever vote. Yeah, we got to stop that too, and make sure anybody out there, please tell people. Shout out to Florida, man. They got all those felons, people that have felonies. They can vote. So everybody out here, please, if you're a prior felon, and you've been out long enough, make sure you can vote. Check see if you can vote. Spread the word. I think in New York, Linda said you did the job in a formative way and left it there. Exactly. Um, so multiple times we shoot. What did we learn? We learn you shoot. You shoot to stop the threat. But we've known of people who've gotten shot in the back. The days of putting your hands up, it seems like that goes out the window right now, right? Yeah, Cynthia said owning a gun is a responsibility. However, any kid can get a gun. How does this happen? Uh, that's over my pay grade, Cynthia. That's a good ass question though. But They're still getting in, and they're still getting in the city. Right now, I employ all of you who can get a license. You can get a gun license, get it. And get a gun, get it. I found out at one point there were guns were getting hard to get, and bullets were too, and the prices went up. I believe in protecting yourselves. Just a lot of times people of color are not afforded those same opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, use them right that some of our people fight for. You know what I'm saying? They fight for you to have a gun, get that. You know, Linda said, and who you was is why I never thought twice about you being on the job. Appreciate it. Um, Eunice said, I see looting as an opportunity to do wrong. A whole neighborhood was destroyed. It will take years to rebuild it if they even try to fix the destruction. Some people use this as a tragedy. Sorry, hold on. As a tragedy as an opportunity to loot. Most didn't even know the man, and they shot. Exactly. Some people just looting and riding and just getting stuff. Just lawlessness at its finest. Like, knock it off. Come on. And you know what's so funny? It's when they do that, they deem all people of color like that. So you have everybody here that is listening to me today having to have we take on the responsibility of speaking up for you, and you're wrong. And we have to have them stop looking at us like, well, look at your people out there doing this. It's your people. It's your people. Yeah, man. But what about your people too? You know what I'm saying? Don't disconnect like that. You know, what's up, Robin King? How are you? I see you in the building. Paula said, I just got my concealed handgun license and I've been in Texas almost 20 years. Yeah, and definitely protect yourself. Please do. Please do. Please go to Amsterdam Avenue any day and you can buy a gun out of the trunk of a car. Yeah, that's old school, right? You still around the corner too? I have to come a day. We have to see you for lunch at one day. Um, so let's not forget, you know, what happened to the man? We got to find out too. What happened to Paula? You're in Texas. What happened to the gentleman that got shot by the cop? The brother that was, like, I think, like a gym instructor or something. You know, let's not forget that people. You know, that not slip us. We got to also remember Mayor Audrey, Mr. Audrey, right? The names keep building up for us, huh? Vote, 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 vote. Please vote. I'm gonna say it again. Vote. There are people that will tell you, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm going to tell you who to vote for. Starts with a B. His last name starts with a B, and his vice president elect. Hopefully, she gets vice president candidacy. She's a female. Figure it out. That's what I'm telling you to vote for. Um, I was talking to a good friend of mine, brother friend today, and I won't mention his name. Not that he doesn't care if I mention his name, but it just if he was here, I would mention it. But I don't see him here, so I'm not going to mention his name. And he asked me, he said, Bill, he said, what's the reason why you're voting for Biden and Harris? He says, Trump in office, does it affect your money? I said, no, it doesn't affect my money. So he said, okay. He says, so then what's the reason why you're voting for Biden and Harris? I said, because I think that the person in office doesn't have any respect for the Oval Office. I think he's a poor excuse of, I can't even say president. It hurts me to say it with his name. I feel that he is very divisive. I don't think he's really done anything that people think he's done. You know, um, he's brought the racism to a all-time high. A lot of people had issues with Obama. You know, they said, "Oh yeah, I was for him," and then all of a sudden I didn't like his policies, and well, yeah, knock it off. You just got tired of seeing a man of color standing at the podium. It had some swag. That's what it was. Hopefully, we get a Latin brother up in the office next time too. You know what I'm saying? They got some swag just like that because we need our Latin brothers up there too. Um, some real Latin brothers that know their history. Don't get up there and stop eating rice con pollo and stuff like that. All of a sudden now they want to eat caviar. You know what I'm saying? But you're not eating platanos no more. No, I don't want you up there. I want the one that's still eating platanos with hot sauce and licking his fingers. I still want that dude running the country for me and keeping it 100. Um, so let me get back to you guys. Um, what's up, Ricky? I see you in the building. Former 28. As he said, Jahar said, there's no doubt that we can vote. Don't be afraid to do it. I voted for Obama, and now I'll be voting for Biden and Harris. My brother, love you, man. We got to get together. Tell your brother I said hello too, man, and your family, all your family. Paula, we must vote, but we also have to show up for jury duty. We can't complain about the justice system if we don't participate. Exactly. Old girl's in office now. We got to talk about that, right? We can talk about her still friends with people who don't share same politics, and that's all right. JCC, it's a difference. To I don't want anybody to think that I can't be a friend with somebody that doesn't share the same policies or the same political party. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that when I ask somebody in prior law enforcement or somebody that's voting for Trump, why do you vote for Trump? What do you tell me? Oh, he likes cops. Okay. But he's never done anything for cops. I ask any law enforcement person that voting for Trump because he likes cops, tell me what he's done for police officers. It's like they used to say that about Giuliani. They say, oh, Giuliani loves cops. He gave us zeros. And I still like him to this day. You talk about him because he gave you zeros, but you still like him. Dinkins gave you money, and you talk about him. The Democrats give you money, and you hate them, but they're liberal. The Republicans don't pay you. That's my guy. I don't care. Linda said, a narcissist could never um have your or your country's interests at heart. Nah, it's about optics and content. Exactly. Cynthia said, I think we need the FBI and CIA since they earn all the big bucks. Why can't they figure out how guns become accessible to kids? Absolutely, man. Uh, Malibu, I see you in the building, baby. I mentioned our conversation. Shout out to my man Malibu out there in ATL holding it down. You know, that was a brother, my white brother. I'd say it all the time. He calls me his brother. I call him my brother. You know, I helped him get in law enforcement. I told him it was a good thing. Do it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Malibu. And like he said, we were talking about it. We were sidebar because I talk to a lot of you sidebar. And Malibu said, he said the one thing you can see about this guy that he was disturbed. So now that goes into tactics and play after. So yeah, this man was definitely disturbed and he had some issues. You know, um, yes, Eunice, Ms. Collins, you said we all have to vote for the local level, not just every 4 years. Exactly. Uh, on the second, I'll have Al Taylor again, Assemblyman Al Taylor. Like we'll be talking politics with Al Taylor at Real Talk Chronicles segment. Um, what's up, Ricky, my man? Hope all is well with you and the family, man. Um, what's up, Sonia? How are you? But you said Paula 00336 exactly. Mark Rose, what's up? Getting on late, but I do my hours. Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. So, homegirl, Trump squeezed it in, right? ladies, I don't know. God forbid. I hope if you're still able to bear children, now you can't even control, the right for your own bodies. I don't understand how can a man tell a woman what to do. Tupac said that itself, right? So, and then she might be even voting on, uh, she might be voting on some other things. You know, please get out there and vote. This post office early voting. I heard we're coming out in numbers. North Carolina, check yourselves. I heard they were talking on the news. They were saying something about the voting for people of color. They're having discrepancies with the early voting or the mail-in ballots or something. They're like, listen, don't try to get fancy now and get a super signature. Don't get $1 million signature when you got, you know, Ripple, pink champagne signature. You know what I'm saying? Pockets. Stay in your lane and just write your name the way you're supposed to write it. Don't get fancy dancy, dog. And come on, man. You know, this is what it is. Like, knock it off. All right. Good. Yeah. Wifey and I'll be doing that. Before we worry about where guns come from, let's worry about why people are teaching what people are teaching at home. Because when I see the streets nowadays, it's just the same. Rick, you know, you're right. It is a shame. Lawlessness, and it has to go back to being raised a certain way. It seems like a lot of us were raised by a village. I don't know what happened between our generation and that generation after us, and maybe that generation in between, or I don't know, my age group. I don't know how many generations could be behind us, child, maybe two. Yeah. Depends on how you spitting out them babies. You know what I'm saying? If I had a child at 20, 40, you know, grandparent, be a grandparent, 40, 55, child sleeping. So there could be 2 to 3 generations. Um, what happened to morals and values? But what's so funny? Rick, you said something right. Yeah, but we're not seeing what's happening in the white communities. We're not seeing that. We need, so I mean, yeah, we working in communities of color. So we see community of colors, shit. So I get it, you know, exactly. And you need babies having babies. Would you say, Sin? Trump has mental health issues. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, but but so does half Americans. I work with a pharmacist, and most white people are on a pill, while we are smoking some illegal shit from the street. It's a setup. You're right. That's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate that. They getting the prescription. We sitting here still talking to the dude on the corner buying it. You know, untaxed cigarettes, untaxed weed. Because when they go legal, what's going to happen then? Oh man, how's everybody doing on a Wednesday? I just had to vent and get some stuff out, man. It was killing me today. Um, anything else I want to talk about? Just type it in, let me know. Um, I know one thing. This dude make me want to have a drink. 45. I like to have a drink anyway, but he definitely make me want to drink. Ricky, what you say? I have a lot of family that live in the Bronx, and I was in front of my aunt's building the other day, and 5 out of 7 kids were carrying, and that was scary. Well, yeah. Let's not get it twisted. Uh, stop, question, and frisk was an asset. It was just used wrong. You know, stop, question, and frisk was used by people that abused it, and they were pulling over people like you and me. And stop, question, and frisk. And that's what something that annoys me. Why you stopping the kid coming home from school or with the basketball, and you want to ask him where's he coming from, but you see the dude on the corner standing there, and he's been out there for 12 hours, and you not stop questioning and frisk him. Come on, man. And then but here's law enforcement. Oh, we got to bring stop question and frisk back. Well, as long as it's implemented right, I'll co-sign that. Because let me tell you something: if people walking around here now with their waist heavy and not in fear of being stopped and searched or being caught, okay, yeah, people now the criminal element arising because the John and Jane Q public that are really doing something are going home and closing the door. Rick, you know this when we worked, and Paula, you know this, and anybody who worked in the police force. What was the one thing they said? The good people you would never see, right? You would never see the good people because they go to work and they come home and go home. The only people that you see in the streets are the ones that are out there supposedly doing bad. That's 101 policing. You know what I'm saying? Paula said legal weed is taxed at 40%. Wow. But you said your heart, yeah, you said it. There's no morals and values anymore. Absolutely, Ben. I mean, and you know this. First and foremost, we didn't let people talk to us crazy in the street. You know what I'm saying? We made people in the street respect us. Like I told them, I've gone around and spoken to schools and mentoring things and all over. And one thing I tell kids, I said, you respect the guy on the corner more than you respect your parent or your teacher. But you don't see the guy in the corner only in those minutes that you pass him. But he has your undivided attention because you're afraid you put them hands on you. Maybe we need to go back to letting us reprimand our children. You know, a good pop upside the head or a little pop on the derriere and the ass. Keep it righteous. You know what I'm saying? You know, all that time out in the corner. There's no more time out. Get in the corner. Bang. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Get me hot. You know what I'm saying? Think about bad little kid, and then, everybody out here, please be careful with those acronyms you start putting behind people of color's names. You know what I'm saying? We all had those little twitching and acting, my parents said, be still. All right, little Billy, sit still. I was still. Problem solved. I didn't need any medicine. I got that medicine. Beltlicious, you know, Beltox. You know what I'm saying? It checked me up. Made me right. So, what's up, Yvette? How are you? Uh, People chiming in. So listen, there's still some holes in the Breonna Taylor thing. Hopefully, they can get some closure. Well, not closure. We'll get some justice. Let's say that because let's get some justice. That's what we want. Um, Walter Wallace. We come to find out that he's a man that had emotional problems. They were called there earlier that day 3 times. I think when those officers came, they were the third time they responded to that call. Um, Better training. How do you deal with emotionally disturbed people? That is what the problem right now is. How do we deal with emotionally disturbed people? This emotionally disturbed person is walking around with a knife. Even if he had a history of violence, okay, what happened? He didn't take his medicine. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out more. Trust me, we're going to find out more, and I'm going to be just as eager to listen. And I'm when I'm not in New York, I'm close to Philly. I'm not I'm not in Philly, but I'm close to Philly, and I have my ear to a lot of the streets. I'm going to try to reach out to some people to see if I can get some insight. Uh, but New York is off the chain. 40 people, I think they had 40 people shot over the weekend. Like, 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 come on, man. Like, like, like people just shooting to be shooting. And you know what? I think so. People are so mad at life that they're just taking it out on each other. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it's crazy. It really is. Paula said, I beat my kids, and by the time they were about 8 years old, they knew what my expectations were. I never had, I never had out of control. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And I got time for all that flip of the lip. I mean, yo, we all came from a generation where we was like, what? What'd you say? Oh, okay. Like, don't talk back. You didn't have opinions and thoughts when we were growing up. If you did, it better be a laugh behind it. Or you better if you think you was able to talk back, you better come with a report card that had a bunch of A's. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. And I am Facebook Live and I'm also on YouTube Live. So please share it. Go to YouTube and share it, subscribe to it so you can get updates on what I'm doing and what I'm doing it. Uh, I will be voting, early voting. I'm not having it. I don't care how long that line is. I will have on some nice sneakers so my feet won't hurt. And the wife and I will alternate until we get there. You know, Rick said the shootings will get worse before they get better. And it's sad. Yeah, man. It's some Rick. I mean, there's some laws that have to be changed. Absolutely, there's some laws that to be changed. I think Cynthia talked earlier about reform and things like that. And Rick, I don't know if you're still on, but training. You can't train like it's almost like an old dog. You can't train an old dog new tricks. Not in one day. Not in one day. You can't do it. A lot of these people don't even want to train. And then it's a certain ideology. You know, half these cops is like you said, like Jahar said, and a lot of people said, you know, uh, cats are scared, man. Like Jahar said earlier, like even when growing up, let's delve into the before I get off. Let's just delve into the mind of an inner city kid. You was taught first by a village because Jahar's parents knew my parents. I knew his parents. I couldn't let his mother walk down the street with grocery bags. He couldn't let my mother, you know what I'm saying? We spoke, said hello, right? That's the way we were brought up. But like he was saying, we learn how to slap box. So at a young age, you was taught not to be a punk when you grew up in the inner city. And no matter what city you grew up, you pick any, I don't care where you from. You were taught not to be a punk. Your mother told you, don't come in this house crying and tell me somebody took something from you. What? I was in school fighting over pencils. That's my pencil. No, it's not. That's my. I can't go home without this pencil. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So either I got to go home. Either I got to go home with your ass on my knuckles, or, or I got to go to the store buy a new pencil or something. Because if I go home without this pencil, and my mother said I spend my hard-earned money, and my mother father said I spent their hard-earned money to buy me something, and I come in that house and I don't have it, ooh boy, I'm done. I'm done. I come to school the next day mad, and then you all did too. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, you was taught not to be a punk. You have never had to have a fight in your life. To have a fight doesn't make you a tough person. It just means you're not scared to fight. But being not scared to fight, a person not scared to fight could have never had a fight in their life. Not to be a formal fighter. That means that you're not going to let anybody walk over you. And this is what's happening. The people that's on this job, I don't know where they come from. And I'm not just talking about NYPD. I'm talking about all over the world. There are just certain situations where you just be like, yo, I want to touch you. You know, I don't need this gun. This gun is just in case. I'm not telling anybody to go. I'm not telling any law enforcement officer to fight somebody without it that has a knife. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying that there's ways, different ways of handling things. I think there's definitely need to be some more training on how to handle emotionally disturbed people. Definitely. I think we need to find out more about what's happening with Breonna Taylor's case. You know, they need to take that to a higher person. Damn that attorney general. You need to find out what's happening with Aubrey. Somebody, please, next week, give me some intel. I'll look on it. We got to find out what happened to that man in Texas. He got shot by the cop. Man, I had to reach out to Gina Jonas, and see what she's going on out there. Oh, Paula, let me know if you know. Uh, Paula, let me know if you can hear anything out there. What's up, Lisa Spencer? How are you? Like you said, yeah, you better say it. We look after fourth first. You know exactly. Period. That's what we did, man. You know what I'm saying? Vanetta has to be on her knuckles. You're right. Yo, listen, man. We were taught, don't come in here telling me somebody took something from you. Yo, when you from, and I'm just saying inner city, I'm not even going to say it's the hood. We could say we the hood. You can say whatever you want to say. Jahan and I, we grew up right across the street looking in each other's windows. We were the hood, right? But you still didn't let anybody take anything from you. That was like a total sign of like, what? You ain't take my ball. You ain't taking, yo, if somebody lost your ball, you better buy me a ball. You fought your best friend over a basketball, or baseball, football. If he lost it, a little Spalding ball. Yo, man, where's my ball? I don't know. You go get my ball. No, you give me my money for my ball. I want my 25 cents for that little Spalding that we used to buy in the store and say stick ball with. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things back then that, and this generation doesn't have that. This policing does not have that. A person does not have to be a formal fighter not to be a punk. We get a lot of softness on this job right now. And then that gun gives you these balls and cojones that you want to start talking to people any kind of way. And right now, people are tired. This new generation out here, these young kids, I forgot what they call them, the disease or whatever they call. They not having it. They not even scared of the cops anymore. They're not even scared of the shoot. It's almost like they want to die with a badge of honor, a bullet. You know what I'm saying? So they're swinging. A lot of these law enforcement better go out here and get some formal fighting, some practice, get some boxing lessons. Some martial arts lessons, something. You know, y'all like Rocky. Shit. I like that UFC and all that, or whatever it is, mixed martial arts, whatever, Steven Seagal, somebody, Michael Jai White, you better get a movie or something. YouTube will teach you how to fight, maybe. You know, you better get you to Rocky's marathon on TBS or something, and yo, Adrian, do something. Because y'all getting beat up out here. Yo, Rick, it's good talking to you, my brother. I'm out. God bless and take care, my brother. I will catch up with you soon. Yes, definitely. you know, so, this is what it is, man. I'm just trying to definitely, give you some real talk. Hey, Elizabeth. Thank you. Any questions, comments before we time out? Paula said, hey, how do you know Alex Jackson from Harlem? Right now I have to think of that name. That's if you said martial arts, then that's it. That's how I know him, from the martial arts. Listen, vote, people. If you can't, a lot of us can't raise. We all come. Most of us, everybody in here, came from a village. That village energy is kind of gone now. I implore you to tell your children, or if you have children, raise them like you were raised. You know, listen, them days of oh, I don't hit my kids because I got beat. I'm not telling you to beat your kid's ass. I'm just telling you to beat your kid's ass when he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, because there are people out here now that's killing kids. The streets are killing them. Law enforcement, if you want to keep it like that 100, they have no problems killing them. And listen, New York is a blue state. So New York is kind of, the officers now are kind of scared. They're not really trying to do their job like that. But you go out to these red states where crime is still high and these cops still believe about, dan, 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 you know what I'm saying? Or certain these cops really believing about that, holding that flag high in their chest, and they believe Trump and Pence are making the world a better place. You go in and start talking shit and they chewing tobacco and say something slick out your mouth. They tell you that one-on-one patrol car, that the body cam ain't working. Shout out to Salmada. What's going on, man? How are you? You know? So yeah, the generation after you build is not on Simic and the rest of us. You're right. They're not in sync. You know, they don't give a damn. There are no more big mamas. You are right about that. You're right about that. They lost respect. They, where are the big mamas? You look at this generation now. Real talk. I see a lot of mothers, fathers. Maybe I'm gonna say. I want to say after me. You see them on certain posts, posting with their pictures with their kids, smoking and drinking. What the hell is that? Now, I get it. You at a certain age, your child is 30 years old. Okay. Your child meet you at a bar. I get it. Y'all hanging out, you're having drinks together, you're talking about something, family, or just y'all ran into each other. Because it's not uncommon right now at this age that if I ran into my daughter and her and her husband came into the same restaurant or the bar I was in, I'm gonna buy him a drink. I ain't gonna be talking about you can't drink with your father. Like that doesn't make sense, right? But if you and your daughter singing the same song, what is that? What's the name of the Stallion and Cardi B? And you talking about it's wet or WAP or whatever it is. At 50 years old, you shouldn't be talking about it's wet and WAP. It should be just there. Weapon WAP when you get in the house by yourself, but don't let your kids see you weapon and whopping or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Knock it off. But you say, Job, because on the real, some of these new hustlers on the streets, guys, have a different way of thinking. Times which has no respect on either side. You're right. That's real talk. Like some of the new generation, they don't even have ethics, street ethics. You know what I'm saying? Old street real hustlers, they didn't want to get caught. They kept it moving. Cops say move, they break out. They don't stand there and challenge the cops. I didn't get that. I remember when I was working, the dumbest ones that challenge the cops. He be the one with the gun. Knuckleheads. Anyway, so listen, we talked about Breonna Taylor. We talked about the disconnect of people of color. Some people of color have lost their sight of who they are. People, well, they don't even want to be enlightened. So don't beat yourself up trying to save you. Teach people who don't want to be taught. Breonna Taylor, Walter Wallace, we talked about that, multiple shootings. We talked about police shootings and why they shoot multiple times. Folks, I will be coming to you Monday, 7 o'clock. Real talk. Please exercise your vote. If you have elderly people in your family, check on them. Take them to the polls. You know what I'm saying? It's too late right now. I posted something like that. It's too late right now for mail-in ballots. When I say mail in, like don't be trying to request a mail in ballot right now. Listen, go to the polls and do what you got to do. Handle your business. Um, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week coming up. If something really happens drastic, and right now in Philadelphia, I see that they issued a 9 p.m. curfew in Philadelphia in protest over the shooting of Walter Wallace. If something comes up that I have to bring it to you, I may go just quick live and chop it up with you real quick. But otherwise than that, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. Please like it, share it. Uh, if you got something that you want me to talk about, holla at me, inbox me, text me. Most of y'all have my number. Y'all know how to reach me. And we can kick it. It's a worth topic. Maybe one day in the upcoming, I'll have some of y'all on and we can just talk about life and just things like that magnitude. So everybody, what's up, Lloyd? Lloyd, I'm about to get out of here, though, brother. You got to go ahead and go back and watch the show. Go to YouTube, subscribe to Real Talk Chronicles, please. Help me get the word out here because right now everybody has a podcast. Everybody's talking, but I'm still going to be here after that. You know what I'm saying? When this pandemic opens up a little, please wear your mask, cover your mouth. You know, wear your mask. Don't be a tough guy or a tough girl. I don't want to wear my mask. I'm not going to wear it. Wear your mask. You know, your life is more important than you. Protect you better than it. You can protect you better than anybody. But if you don't want to protect you, protect me because I'm wearing my mask. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, everybody, Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Vote, y'all. Vote. Talk to you later. Holla at your boy.